Hello and welcome to Fieldwork. I am Jenny. I'm your Akashic Records reader on this channel. And today we celebrate Halloween, Samhain, if you are into the Celtic tradition. And I'm going to do the November Akashic Records reading for you today, reading into the energy of November. So I'm excited. It's quite a day to open the records. I've already been in the records today doing a reading for someone, and I'm a little flabbergasted at what came through. I mean, normally some pretty potent messaging and information comes through, and guides and ancestors show up. But this reading was unlike one I've ever done, and I actually can't recall if I have ever done a reading for someone on October 31st before. So that was a very new experience for me. And I've been reading since 2021, 2020 or 2021. Anyway, today is the day for the November reading. So I'm going to go ahead and open the Akashic Records, do a reading for the month of November, and then close the records. So join me in grounding for a moment, and I'll do a reading for the whole collective that watches this video and see what comes through. So I'm going to just take a moment to ground and put my roots down into the earth. And we will begin. I ask God, the greater field, for a shield of truth, love, and light to surround me permanently, so that only truth, love, and light exists between you and me. I allow God, the greater field, to speak to and through me and receive that which is for my highest good, a voice that I, Jenny Elise Bremer, trust and love. I now ask that the highest order of sacred light surround us. I ask God, the greater field, to surround you with truth, love, and light permanently, so that only truth, love, and light will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, guides, angels, loved ones, and energies of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records so that I am able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay, the records are open, so I'm just going to take one moment to feel into this energy. What does the Fieldwork with Jenny collective who is watching this video need to know about the energy of November? I'm seeing big, 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 big waves, big waves. It's almost as if they're, at times it seems like we're in the middle of the ocean together, and at times it seems like we're on this very rocky cliffside. And these waves are so big that they're actually coming up this cliffside, and we're standing on the edge on the rocky. Mm, yeah, it's like we're not on the edge of the cliff. We've come down into this very rocky uh, portion of this cliff, and the waves are I mean, we're several, I would say 100 or 200 feet above the ocean, but the waves are so large as they crash against the side of this cliff that they're coming up to meet us where we are on this rocky portion. And yet it feels like we're standing really steady despite the wind and the waves crashing and the water splashing and all of the seagulls flying around. It feels like we're standing really steady on the side of this cliff, as if to say, I'm here, you can't knock me down, I'm not going anywhere, I'm weathering the storm. And this isn't in a sense where we're just enduring just to endure and cause suffering for ourselves. It's a sense that we are standing tall in our full personhood, as if the storm isn't a threat to us. And again, this isn't like we're not being careless, we're not in denial. It's just like we're no longer reading what's happening around us as something that is bigger than or greater than. It's something that I can meet, and it's something that can meet me, and I can stay in my fullness and my wholeness and allow that thing outside of me, in this case, the storm, to wear itself out and to pass eventually. And in the meantime, I have not taken up less space or shrunk or allowed this thing to mm, consume me and take space away from me. It has simply just been this thing that's happened around me. There's a real sense of, I mean, it's almost like, is it the Captain Morgan bottles where there's a pirate or something that stands with one leg up? Oh gosh, I'm so terrible with alcohol. I don't know. I know there's an alcohol bottle, and this is what's coming to mind in the vision. There's an alcohol bottle with like a captain. Yeah, Captain Morgan, where the captain is standing with one leg up. And this is what I'm seeing. It's like we're just confidently standing on this rocky edge of the cliff with one leg up and our hand on our knee, and we're here, and the storm is happening, and then the storm passes, and the sun comes out, and we kind of stand and relax a little bit, and we're looking around over the expanse of the ocean, and this ship is coming from the horizon, and it approaches this cliff face. And we just hop on down. We hop on down into the ship. And again, it's 100 or 200 feet below where we are, but we just so effortlessly take a little hop as if we're hopping off of like a stoop that is only a couple of steps high onto the ground. But again, this ship is like 100 or 200 feet beneath us. But we just so effortlessly hop down, and we're on this ship, and there's surprisingly no one else on this ship. It's almost as if this ship has been looking for us. And when I say us, I'm seeing one person in the vision, but it's collectively like it represents each one of us. Just envision it as you, as if this reading is about you. So it's almost as if this ship has been searching for us. And finally it sees us on this cliff face, and it approaches, and we hop in, and the ship's like, okay, I found you. I found you. And it wants us to tell it where to go. So let me feel into this captain or pirate or whatever it is that is representing us. Well, so I'm seeing this captain or pirate like sitting down, kicking his feet up, and like kind of taking a load off for a moment. Like, I just need to rest for a second. Like, I just weathered a storm, And though the weathering of the storm and again, like standing confidently, taking up space, it's not like there was a ton of efforting, but there is some kind of rest that is wanting to be gathered in this kicking up of the feet and taking the load off before instructing the ship where to go. So, hang on, let me feel into this. There is a sense that even before the storm, this captain or pirate uh, went through quite an ordeal. It's almost as if there is a war that was waged, and this captain, I think it's a captain of some sort. Uh, anyway, this captain, yes, there was a war that was waged, and he had to sort of fight his way through uh, these. So interesting. Yeah, it's like the person that's representing us is dressed as a captain, and these people that he, just for a lack of, it's just easy for me to call this captain a he. It looks like a he. I'm just gonna call it a he, even though it's representative of men and women and everything in between. But just for the sake of the reading, we'll say he. So he is dressed as a captain that you might see in the 1800s or even before, maybe even way before that. I don't know. I'm not great with timelines, but it's the time of like pirates, like Jack Sparrow. This captain is fighting this war against these people who are wearing mere loincloths and are fighting with spears. And this captain has a sword. All he has is a sword. And he's taking on like thousands of these people with spears and these mere loincloths. And he is just, again, effortlessly taking out these thousands of people with his sword. And it's almost like it's a magic sword. I'm hearing sword of truth. Uh, so yeah, he and this magic sword of truth are taking on these thousands of people, waging this war, working his way through the lines of people through this war, end him up at the cliff's edge, where then there is this storm that comes in. He steadfastly um, grounds himself on the edge of this cliff on the rocky part of it and weathers the storm. So, in this gathering of rest in the ship, it is more of a like, okay, although these things were effortless, I did still have to use my energy. Let me gather some of my energy before deciding where it is that I'm going to go. And there is a real sense of choice in this. It feels like there were a lot of things that had to happen that he didn't get to choose, he or we didn't get to choose, like the war and the storm and whatever happened even before the war that was waged. Um, but it's like sitting in this ship, gathering the energy. There's this sense of spaciousness because, like, oh, now I get to choose. And a brief moment of like, oh man, that's really overwhelming. Like, I haven't really had to choose anything in a long time because I've been just, mm, I've just been placed in these circumstances and seemingly had no choice, even though we always have a choice, but like seemingly had no choice but to go through these experiences to get to where I'm at now. So there's a moment of really this captain of this ship really acknowledging, like, wow, I went through all of those things because I kind of had to. And though it was effortless, I still need to generate energy again and feel into what's next. And there's a sense of freedom, like this choice and this ability to choose is giving this captain a sense of freedom. And suddenly I see him stand up, and now the sun is setting. So it seems as though we or he have spent the whole day on this ship relaxing. And I see him going for a swim, diving off the ship. Um, he petted some dolphins. That's really adorable. There's a rainbow. I see him in another moment eating what looks like bread and cheese that are months old that this ship has been saving for him until he found him because he knew the ship knew he would need nourishment to help him generate more new energy. The ship feels really alive. The ship is like delighted that he could bring the captain the nourishment and solace and a place to rest and to be the vessel to bring the captain to where he's going next. So, all of the resting and pleasure and joy and eating throughout the day, now the sun is setting and the captain has decided. So, I see the captain standing at the, I don't know ship terminology. He's standing at the front of the ship and it seems as though he's instructed the ship where to go because now the ship is taking him toward the horizon, toward the sunset. And there's a real sense of satisfaction in the captain of like, I made it through all of those things, and now I'm just literally sailing into the sunset, into the spacious expanse. And like the whole world is my oyster now. Like I have the freedom to choose whatever I want because I went through those things. I, and not only did he go through those things, but he went through those things with skill and hmm, truth, I think is what it is. Hold on, let me feel into this. Yeah, it's like, wow, all that I learned in my training with my sword allowed me to take down thousands of people who otherwise would have been my captors or potentially killed me. And wow, all of my whatever other training or life experience allowed me to stand so steady and firm in my sense of self on the edge of a cliff while a storm raged. It's almost as if the waves from the ocean knew it was not to take him down. It's almost as if the rest of the elements were like, hey, this captain is off limits. You can be so rough that you create waves that come up 1 to 200 feet up this cliff face, but you are not to touch that captain. So it's almost like the elements or energies or beings around you are also acknowledging what you've gone through, how far you've come, what you've become, and we're protecting you even. Like even this last sort of, mm, what's the word? Even this last event that like could be seen as a test, it's not really a test, but like this last thing, this storm that really could have taken you out because you didn't know that the ocean was instructed not to touch you. You didn't know that information. Had you known that information, it would have drastically changed the outcome. Uh, you weren't supposed to know that the ocean was instructed not to touch you because it's like you standing steadfast in yourself amidst the storm was like your last test. I don't like to say, I don't really believe in tests, from the universe or our guides or ancestors or God or whoever. But um, it's like the last piece of it's like it was like your final training grounds. Um, yeah. And now you're sailing into the sunset with the world as your oyster and all of the possibility in the world for you to create what you want. There's a real sense that you are stepping into creating a reality that is based on your desire and dreams. And it will seem as though you are being guided. Yeah, it feels like you're going to come to a point where you're like, oh, this still isn't what I want. Like, I feel like I'm being guided into this. I feel like this is just like the next breadcrumb on my treasure map of my life. Like, this is like you'll come to a point where, like, wait, am I choosing this? Is this what I want? And the answer is yes. Wildly, yes. Loudly, yes. It's just that you have attuned yourself so much to your authenticity and your sense of self and um, your intuition and the knowledge of what your energy feels like. And it's so in line with spirit, God, the universe, your guides, ancestors, and what they want for you that it's almost like it's so close that it almost is like, wait, am I choosing this or is God choosing this? And it's like the wrong question altogether because you're working so in tandem with those energies and they're so aligned that all you need to do is just acknowledge that. Like you don't need to question there are no questions. There's just acknowledgement at this point. So, and it feels like November is all of that. And there's also this sense of, let me see if I can clarify this. There's also a sense like this all is describing like the first half of November. There's a sense that the second half of November is this ship approaching a cave or tunnel or some kind of like rocky thing. And there's an archway, and we're going through it. The ship that we're on is going through it. And it's quite dark. And let me see what else is there. So interesting. There's again a sense. So it's like the deeper we go into this cave or tunnel or rocky arch, whatever it is, the darker it gets. And yet, this captain within himself remains so calm, confident, steady, almost as if he knows this is just part of the path. He's not scared of it. He's not afraid of the dark. He's not scrambling for a candle or fire or some way to see. It's almost like he's in full trust. Even when the ship is kind of like, what are we doing? The captain's like, we're good. We're good. We're exactly where we need to be. So it feels like November is a month where we will realize, wow, look at what we've done. Look how far we've come. Look at the skill that I've built within myself to take with me into wherever I'm going next. And there's a sense of alignment, a sense of like something kind of switching or clicking. And it feels like something that we've wanted for a long time. And we've wanted it so bad that, again, when we feel like, oh, wait, is this me directing the ship or is it God, spirit, source, the universe, whatever? And it's like, it doesn't matter at this point because you've come into alignment so much, it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, cool. I love the imagery. I love the steadfastness of this captain and how confident he is in himself. And I hope that we all can maintain that kind of sense of self through the end of the year, through November at least. We'll see what December's reading brings up, but yeah, what beautiful imagery. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the records. I give gratitude to my guides and angels for being with and protecting me in this space. I give gratitude to the masters, teachers, loved ones, and energies of you for trusting me. I give gratitude to myself and to you for entering the records and inviting more truth into our hearts. May we move forward, always remembering the unconditional love and support that is with us at all times. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Beautiful. Yay. What a great reading. Thank you so much for joining. Please comment below if you had your own visions or thoughts or signs or anything that came up during the reading. And or if it resonates for you, I would also love to know how. Leave it in the comments. Also, please like and subscribe, share when you can. It really helps me to get in front of more people. And yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you in December.